All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. You know how we do things around here? We take something really cool and we do a deep dive. This time, it's all about getting fit and finding a routine that works for you. We're taking fitness and exercise routines, a healthier you, and really breaking it down. The source is amazing. It's not just about like how to look good, it's about how to feel really good, how to have more energy, better mood, even preventing some stuff down the line that nobody wants to deal with, right?
Right.
But honestly, some days I just want to stay on the couch.
Oh, yeah,
Does any of that sound familiar to you?
totally.
Yeah.
But, the science is really clear about this. Even just a little bit of regular exercise can, dramatically improve how you feel overall, your well-being. It's not about becoming some kind of marathon runner or anything like that. It's about finding those small wins and doing them consistently.
Okay, so how small are we talking here? Because the source mentions just 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce your risk of chronic diseases. Is that all it takes?
It really is. And you know what? Those 30 minutes don't even have to be all at once.
Hmm.
You can, split it up during the day, maybe a quick walk before work, take the stairs a couple times at lunch, a little stretching before bed. It all adds up, and it makes a huge difference.
So what are the best ways to get those minutes in? I mean, the source breaks down all these different exercise types, but there are just so many options out there.
Yeah, and it's definitely not one size fits all. I think the key is finding what you enjoy because that's how you're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about cardio, things like running, swimming, dancing, really anything that gets your heart rate up. That's fantastic for burning calories and heart health.
Okay, so that's like the foundation, right? Cardio. But I've always wondered about strength training. Does that make you bulky?
That's such a common misconception. Strength training is not just for bodybuilders. It's about building lean muscle, which is super important for everybody, no matter what your fitness goals are. And here's the really cool part. Muscle tissue, it actually burns more calories when you're resting than fat tissue does. So when you build more muscle, you're basically increasing your metabolism, which means you burn more calories, even when you're not working out.
Wow, so building muscle helps you burn more calories even when you're just like chilling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, strength training is so good for your bones, which is especially important as we get older. It's kind of like a long-term investment in your body.
Okay, so we've got cardio for heart health and burning calories, strength training for building muscle and boosting metabolism. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, the source also talks about flexibility and mobility. Things like yoga, Pilates, or even just regular stretching. This is really important for preventing injuries, improving your posture, and just overall feeling more comfortable and being able to move better.
Okay, but sometimes, if I'm being honest, I think I'd rather just be lifting heavy things. Flexibility doesn't always sound that exciting.
I hear you, but imagine this. You're lifting those heavy things, feeling super strong, and then bam, you pull a muscle because you haven't been stretching. Working on flexibility and mobility is kind of like preventative maintenance for your body. It helps you move more freely and without pain or feeling restricted. Plus, it can be really relaxing and a great way to de-stress.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here, but isn't all exercise kind of functional in a way?
Yeah.
Because it helps you move better in everyday life.
That's true. All exercise has functional benefits. But what makes functional training different is that it focuses specifically on movements that are like things you do in everyday life. Squats, lunges, push-ups, all those exercises that help you do things like lift groceries or play with your kids or even just stand up from a chair more easily.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like training for real life, not just the gym. But how do you put all this together into a plan you can actually stick to? Let's be real. Who has time for all of this?
That's where the Source's sample workout plan comes in. It's a great place to start, and it really takes the time factor into account. You don't have to do it all at once.
Okay, so like what does that plan actually look like?
Well, it outlines 3 workout days a week, and each day kind of focuses on a different combination of cardio, strength training, and flexibility. So, for instance, maybe Monday is like a 30-minute jog and then some core work and stretching. Then Wednesday, you could do a strength training session that focuses on your upper body. And Friday, maybe it's a yoga class or a longer walk with some light body weight exercises.
Okay, I like that it's only 3 days a week. That feels like doable. But what if I'm already kind of active? Can I still use this plan?
Oh, absolutely. The plan's really adaptable. So if you're already active, you could like increase the intensity or how long you do the workouts. So like instead of a 30-minute jog, maybe you go for 45 minutes, or you add some hills to your run. Or if you're doing strength training, you could use heavier weights or more resistance.
That makes sense. And what if I'm like really pressed for time? Are there any days that I could just skip or maybe like shorten?
Well, consistency is really key. But we also want to be realistic.
Right.
If you absolutely can't fit in all three workouts, I'd say at least try to get two in and prioritize the strength training and cardio days. Those give you the most bang for your buck, so to speak, in terms of burning calories and building muscle. And hey, even 15 minutes of exercise is better than nothing.
That's good to hear. I definitely have those days where 15 minutes is all I can manage. But let's be real, even if I like totally crush these workouts, won't my diet sabotage my efforts? Can you really outrun a bad diet?
That is such a great question, and the source is super clear on this. You can't outrun a bad diet. Nutrition plays a huge role in how you feel, how your body recovers from workouts, and ultimately in what kind of results you see. Think of your body like a high-performance machine. You need to fuel it with the right stuff if you want it to run at its best.
Okay, so what are the key things to focus on when it comes to like fueling our workouts and recovery? What should we be eating?
It's not about going on some crazy diet or restricting yourself.
Yeah.
It's about giving your body the nutrients it needs to really thrive. So I'd say focus on lean proteins. Things like fish, chicken, beans, tofu. These are the building blocks for muscle repair and growth.
Okay, so protein is key. What else should we be thinking about?
Complex carbohydrates are really important too, from things like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. These give you sustained energy, which is what your muscles need to power through those workouts.
Got it. Protein for building, carbs for energy. What about like healthy fats? I'm always hearing about those.
Yeah, healthy fats, like those found in avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. These are crucial for hormone production and just keeping your cells functioning properly. Don't be afraid of healthy fats. They're actually really good for you.
That makes a lot more sense. So it's not about like depriving yourself. It's about giving your body what it actually needs to work its best.
Exactly. It's about nourishing your body, not punishing it. And speaking of nourishing, don't forget about hydration. Water is absolutely crucial for everything, from regulating your body temperature to transporting nutrients.
All right, so we've got the workout plan. We know what to eat, but let's be real. The struggle is staying motivated. I'm like the queen of starting out strong and then like completely fizzling out after a week or two. What does the source say about like staying motivated for the long haul?
Oh, I think we've all been there. And the source has some really great strategies for staying motivated. One of the most effective, I think, is setting realistic goals. So instead of saying, I'm going to work out every single day, maybe you start with something like, I'm going to aim for 3 workouts this week.
That's definitely more like something I can actually stick with. I like that. Are there any other tips that have worked really well for you?
Well, finding a workout buddy or even working with a trainer can be super helpful for accountability. Having someone there to like cheer you on and keep you accountable and even just share the struggles with can make a huge difference.
A workout buddy sounds fun. I'm kind of more of a solo person, but maybe I could give it a try. What if I don't know anyone who's up for it, though?
That's okay too. There are so many online fitness communities now where you can connect with people who have similar goals. Or you could even think about working with a trainer, even if it's just for a few sessions, to get you started and keep you on track.
That's a good point. Even just having someone to check in with could be motivating. But what about those days when I'm just like exhausted and not feeling it at all? How do you push through that?
Oh, it's totally normal to have those days where you just don't feel like working out. But here's a little trick that I use. Tell yourself you're just going to do 10 minutes. A lot of times, once you actually get started, you'll realize you have more energy than you thought, and you'll end up finishing the whole workout.
Okay, I'm going to try that. What are some other things you do when you're just not feeling it?
One of the best things you can do is remind yourself why you started this whole journey in the first place. Maybe you want to have more energy to play with your kids, or you want to feel more confident in your clothes. Whatever your reason is, keep it front and center in your mind.
Okay, so find my why and hold on to it when things get tough. What about tracking progress? Is that something I should be doing?
Tracking your progress can be really motivating, yeah. It lets you see how far you've come and celebrate those wins. You don't have to get crazy with it either. You could just keep a workout journal or use a fitness tracker or even just take progress pictures of yourself.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love like visual evidence of progress. But what about the scale? Should I be weighing myself regularly?
Yeah, the scale can be helpful, but it's really important to remember that it's just one way to measure your progress. Don't get too hung up on that number. Focus more on how you feel, how your clothes are fitting, if you have more energy. Those are all really good indicators too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes I get so focused on the number on the scale and I forget to actually pay attention to how I feel.
It's easy to do that, especially with all the pressure from society to look a certain way. But remember, true health and fitness, it's not about what the scale says. It's about so much more than that.
So true. It's about feeling good in your own skin and taking care of yourself.
Exactly. And when you shift your focus away from wanting other people to validate you and move towards being motivated from within, that's when you start to see real lasting changes.
Okay, we've covered a lot here today. Workout plans, food, motivation, mindset. What about recovery? I mean, the source really emphasizes that rest is just as important as exercise, but sometimes I feel kind of guilty taking rest days, like I should be doing something.
I totally get that. But rest isn't some kind of luxury. It's essential, really. Your body needs time to repair itself and rebuild after you've worked it hard. Think of it like this. When you're sleeping or resting, that's when your muscles actually get stronger.
Oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. So how do I know if I'm getting enough rest?
The best thing you can do is pay attention to what your body is telling you. So if you're feeling tired all the time or sore or just not motivated to do anything, that's probably a sign that you need more rest.
Okay, that makes sense. What about active recovery? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. Active recovery is basically doing low-impact activities that help your muscles recover by increasing blood flow. Things like walking or gentle yoga or swimming are all really good options.
I like that. It feels like less like I'm doing nothing and more like I'm still taking care of my body?
Exactly. And remember, recovery is different for everyone. Some people need a whole day of rest, while others might just need a few hours. It's really about listening to your body and doing what feels right for you.
This has been so helpful. Is there anything else you want to leave our listeners with about creating a fitness routine they can stick with?
I think the biggest thing is to remember that fitness is a journey. It's not a destination, right? It's about finding what works for you, what you actually enjoy, and something you can do long term. Be kind to yourself, celebrate your progress, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
That's great advice. Thanks so much for being here today.
It was my pleasure, really.
And to everyone listening, remember, just starting is the hardest part. So take that first step, whether it's a 10-minute walk, a new workout class, whatever works for you. And once you've tried out some of these tips, we'd love to hear how it's going. Until next time, happy moving.